One of Spider-Man's most well-known love interests once made short work of Wolverine's deadliest enemy, in an embarrassing fashion. Of all the enemies Wolverine has made over his incredibly long life, there are perhaps none as vicious, terrifying, and relentless as Sabretooth. Hulking in physique, savage of nature, and bloodthirsty in demeanor, Sabretooth is a remorseless killer who takes pleasure in sending people to early graves. Sabretooth is easily one of the last people anyone would ever want to come after them, as Spider-Man's love interest the Black Cat discovered firsthand. However, what should have been an easy and effortless hit turned into one of the most humiliating nights of Sabretooth's life. 1986's Peter Parker, the Spectacular Spider-Man. 116 featured the titular wall crawler up to his web shooters and problems. His tumultuous on-again, off-again relationship with Felicia Hardy, also known as the Black Cat, was causing him grief. His relationship with Mary Jane Watson was rocky, again, and he was in the midst of dealing with Black Cat's bad luck powers rubbing off on him. What he couldn't have predicted was how a certain ruthless mercenary wanted his main squeeze dead. Almost all the problems that were befalling Spider-Man and Black Cat could be traced back to the latter's inability to stay on the straight and narrow. A series of bad decisions culminated with the career criminal stealing from the wrong crime lord, and Sabretooth was sent to settle the score. The deadly mutant broke into her apartment ready for an easy kill, but an unexpected visit by Spider-Man interrupted the proceedings. To his credit, Spider-Man was able to fend off both Black Cat's and Sabretooth's attacks. The fight with the feral mercenary ended when Sabretooth forcibly ripped off a face full of Spider-Man's webbing, which resulted in Sabretooth seriously injuring his own face. Spider-Man, being a hero through and through, helped get him to a hospital. The downside to being a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, however, was how being friendly and kind would come back to threaten Spider-Man with a bloody vengeance. But how Sabretooth suffered, one of his worst defeats. 3 issues later, Peter Parker, the Spectacular Spider-Man, 1119, continued the feral showdown between Sabretooth and Spider-Man. Enraged beyond belief at his defeat, Sabretooth had been biding his time in the hospital. When his wounds were healed enough for him to murder his way out of his bed rest, Sabretooth instantly tracked Spider-Man down. However, before Spider-Man could engage the feral villain, an unexpected visitor stepped in. Black Cat, herself humiliated by her previous engagement with the villainous mutant, began the fight with zero hesitation. Sabretooth, for all of his superhuman powers, was barely able to keep up with the expert thief. A horrific bite to her leg was all it took for Black Cat to unleash her full fury on Sabretooth. Surprisingly, Spider-Man's love interest assaulted Sabretooth with such fury that he was left barely standing at the conclusion of their fight. Sabretooth, a seasoned and highly trained assassin, met his match and was humiliated at the hands of a woman best known for stealing jewels. Sabretooth has since redeemed himself as a supervillain since his very unfortunate defeat. Not only did he become Wolverine's arch-nemesis, but he also became a staple villain for the X-Men as well. His history with the Weapon X program has had him brush shoulders with the likes of Deadpool, placing him even further into the shady underworld of Marvel's contract killers. Sabretooth has even died, went to hell, and still caused problems for Wolverine. While it might not mean much to his countless victims, Sabretooth suffered one of the worst nights of his life when he crossed paths with Spider-Man and Black Cat. For a villain that oozes arrogance at how easily he can maim and kill innocent people, Sabretooth absolutely deserved the embarrassing pounding he received at the hands of his most unlikely opponents, even if the incident has now been all but forgotten.